I, for one, was sad, Coca, but we knew it was coming, that Gregg Popovich was not going to coach anymore. We haven't really seen much of him other than we know that he had some sort of stroke, we believe. We know that he's been recovering. We know that he's made an appearance or two. We know he had a public fall. We know he's 76. We know that he is one of the greatest coaches of all time. And we know that the life of an NBA coach or an MLB manager or a football coach, it is super hard to do into your 70s. That's why you move over to media. You can do media into your 90s. Hard to do a show in your 90s, like a stage show. Frankie Valli's doing one in Vegas. It's total Weekend at Bernie's time. Go watch the video on that if you haven't seen it. It's something else, unless I'm being fooled by TikTok and Instagram. Poor Frankie Valli. Oh, what a night. So Gregg Popovich announced that he's done coaching. And so it got me thinking, is he the greatest coach, not just in NBA history, but is he the greatest coach in all of history? Is he greater than Vince Lombardi? Is he greater than Red Auerbach? Is he greater than Phil Jackson? Is he greater than John Wooden? Is he greater than Gino at Cincinnati? Yeah, at Connecticut? Yes, I don't want to mispronounce his last name. What makes a coach? Is it winning titles with different players throughout a long career? Changing over your roster, but still winning titles? Going from David Robinson to Tim Duncan through and through? Is that what does it? Is it by taking care of your players off the court and being a role model to them? Is it gaining the respect of your players that comes with old age and comes with stability and continuity? But that actually comes from the owner. The fact is, the owner of the San Antonio Spurs is the one, Peter Holt, that allowed Gregg Popovich to become Gregg Popovich, because otherwise you're just another great coach in a line of great coaches. You're Phil Jackson. You go from team to team, you win everywhere, but you become not associated. While you could be one of the greatest coaches in the game, you become more associated with maybe your players, more associated with who you dated, maybe associated with winning a championship as a player with the Knicks. But Gregg Popovich, we've never had that. We associate him solely with the Spurs. We associate him solely with what he did, not just when he was coaching in the Olympics, but what he does every year on the sidelines, whether the team won 70 or lost 70, won the ring or not. You associate him with this feeling of it's all going to be okay. And I've had the opportunity to speak to members of the media, people who work inside the NBA. And one of the great skills, and I've had this opportunity because I've always wanted to understand why I was so bad at hiring managers. What is it that a manager's supposed to have that would make me want to stay with that manager through thick and thin, through good times and bad, through championships and lottery picks? What is it that I am missing in the hiring process? And it turned out it was just me. If you are an owner who's got the patience and the willingness, the way Mickey Arison is with Eric Spoelstra, there's no other real example like it. You could say that Lacob is sort of being that way with Steve Kerr. You could. But we haven't really seen sustained bad play from the Warriors. I was thinking to myself, Coca, that would I have been able to change if someone had got it into my thick skull that the way you create greatness is by allowing greatness to be created? I always thought that the way to create greatness was more on me. And I didn't realize that actually there's opportunities for a whole bunch of coaches to be great, a whole bunch of managers to be great. You got to give them the chance. But then you get the real problem. The real problem is that if you allow 10 people to be great, you're lucky if one of them is great. Then you can say that you helped foment that greatness. But 90% of the time, you say to yourself, I did it wrong. I held on too long. I was blind. I should have known better than to keep this person doing this thing, thinking that the results would be different. So knowing that it's a 90% chance you're going to get it wrong, why do you allow yourself the opportunity to even get the 10%? Why would you? The math doesn't work. When you win a couple titles, then it's a few years, then you win another title, another few years, you have this extended greatness with occasional moments of crap, and you've got the right mentality as an owner, and you've got the right mentality as a coach, and the right relationship between coach and owner, coach and GM, only if all of that happens, and I mean all of that has to happen, can this greatness be unveiled. And Pop did it. Pop had the opportunity, and Pop took advantage of the opportunity. There is a very bad job out there right now, and that is to become the coach of the Spurs. Now, why am I nervous for Mitch Johnson, who is going to be the new coach? I'll tell you. Because maybe it was Peter Holt who allowed this, the owner. So maybe there's a chance that he will show this sort of loyalty going forward to the next coach. Or maybe he'll realize there's only one Popovich and a couple bad seasons out of Wembanyama, and bing, bang, boom, you're moving on from Johnson. And it got me thinking about one team only and my view of that team. Anybody want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you go from Noel to Cowher to Tomlin, back to back to back, 3 coaches, and I don't know the number, Coca, 50 years, whatever the number is. The cries for his job, Mike Tomlin, the cries for him to be let go with reckless disregard toward whether or not greatness can be achieved with another Super Bowl win, whether or not regular season greatness is enough to overcome postseason mediocrity. There's maybe one franchise in all the major sports who has this. And I'm putting the Heat sort of close and the Warriors close to the Steelers, but not quite at all. Now, Mitch Johnson is going to come in. He's been the acting head coach. You may know his name because when Popovich had the mild stroke in November, Johnson was the interim coach. I'm just interested to see what they're going to be. As I end with Gregg Popovich, I will tell you that people are judged by the people with whom they empower. Gregg Popovich has been involved with Mike Budenholzer, Mike Brown, Brett Brown, PJ Carlissimo, James Borrego, Ima Udoka, Will Hardy, Jacques Vaughn, Becky Hammond, Jim Boland, Joe Prunty, Mitch Johnson, Quinn Snyder. Does it sound familiar? Steve Kerr, Doc Rivers, and Monty Williams played under Popovich. His coaching tree rivals Walsh, Parcells. He's going to be missed greatly.